I just wanted to say one thing. Full disclosure, I'm on the advisory board of the Halfway House, and I want you to know that some of us push the have lower numbers, but the BOP has a mandate that whoever gets the contract has to go by their number. So if you want to attack somebody, as we're trying to do, and get a meeting with the BOP, that's who we should be addressing. And one of the things I would say about us in DC, the reason why we don't win, we don't come up with a strategy, we don't know what to ask for, and we don't know how to fight for it. The people that came before us in this city, that's what they used to do, and that's how they used to win. So if you're trying to deal with the halfway house, and you're trying to deal with the numbers, it's not the DC City Council. It's the BOP who has the mandate for the person who has the contract. So that's what we have to address, and that's how we have to do our research, and we have to understand what and who we fighting, because a lot of times we shooting blanks or we shooting a gun at the wrong people. So I just wanted to say that.
So we call this panel Reentry Matters because we do matter, right? And I'm Herb Weaver. I'm a returned citizen. And one of the things that I wanted to say about the halfway house, I think, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people be speaking about this halfway house, or they be speaking for our population without talking to the population. And I saw us do this with Hope Village. Everybody came out there and protested for it closing, but didn't have an idea what was going to happen when it closed. I know y'all didn't think they just want to let everybody go home, right? So they closed it, and some people bought it, well, that was a result of people not talking to the people that was there. So right now, we got an opportunity to talk about and have input on what this halfway house going to look like. And I think that's what we need to be focused on right now, how this halfway house is going to be looking. We know what it's going to be, we know where it's going to be at, we kind of know how many beds it's going to be at, so how we want that as a community to look. That's one thing. The other thing I wanted to say is, because I heard a couple of candidates talk about forgiveness, right? And that's important to our population. And I heard a Reverend Dr. Mitchell say before, that in order to forgive somebody, you have to act like they didn't commit the act that they committed. So that's deep, right? This man, somebody doing something to you, and you want to forgive them, so you got to act like they didn't commit that act. And that's how you got to treat this population. Like, and we really tired of being called returned citizens. We want to even play, we want to be citizens. We want to get to the point where we got every right that you got. And we can't get there being a returned citizen. We want to get to the point where how do we get back to ground zero? What we got to do, we did our crime, we did our time. How do we get to ground zero where we can be citizens and get every right that you all have?
The other thing I want to say, there are a couple of examples around the country where they've taken buildings, like we're talking about with this halfway house, and made it somewhere that's vibrant, and Delancey Street in San Francisco. They do a lot of things with that place with the returning citizens, culinary arts. They raise money. They do a lot of positive things. You have another place that has a bakery. Like, we can talk about why don't we build some type of infrastructure with the organization that has it to make it so it's somewhere where you go get your tea in the morning. Like, everything doesn't have to be negative. We've been brainwashed that these people who are in that building are not like the people of God. Because everybody that changed something during that time committed a crime or went through some adversity and came back and saved the people. And we can't act like we believers and forget about that. So I agree with everybody, it's too many beds. But we got to deal with the BOP if that's going to be addressed. But we can make it a good situation. And I'm be one of those people holding them accountable and pushing them just like you would. So you know you got a voice over there. When there's a problem, I will be pushing if it's a problem. But I think we can do this because the data shows that the majority of the people who go in halfway house do not commit crimes outside of the halfway house because they know they're going to go back. People commit crimes to get away. Most of the time, anyway.
To